This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Time right now is 4:27 here on our Wednesday morning. Thanks for starting your day with us here on RTV6. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. We begin with another violent night in the Circle City. Last night, police responded to 4 separate shootings in just a 4-hour span across the Circle City. One of those victims is now in critical condition.
Yeah, we know that the 3 other victims are expected to survive, and you're looking right now at a map at where those shooting locations took place, so kind of spread out across the city. Obviously, this comes on the heels of more violence that we had over the weekend, so we have just not had the best track record here in Indianapolis for these types of shootings. And speaking of that, we know that downtown businesses, police, they're trying to figure out what to do to stop this violence. Reverend Charles Harrison, we see him out a lot with 10-Point Coalition. He's talking about some ways that we can help stop the violence, but people are just trying to say, hey, enough is enough.
Right, and the Fraternal Order of Police also spoke out yesterday alongside Reverend Harrison just about why they aren't seeing more outrage. They believe that people should be concerned about their safety and the violence that's occurring in our city, especially somewhere like the heart of downtown, where hundreds of thousands of people frequent every single week, especially with Colts games and other
family
events going on. So they're really concerned about the lack of attention that people are paying to these sorts of crimes.
Yeah, are we growing numb to this sort of thing? So we're going to be kind of breaking that down for you coming up here on the show. But we do want to take a turn right now, bring in our own Alyssa Donovan to talk about the forecast for today. It's been really nice the last 2 days, Alyssa.
So we've gotten lucky the past couple days. It's been beautiful weather. We are going to see some changes as we head into the afternoon today. A cooler start. Temperatures are starting in the 60s again this morning. And then as we head into the afternoon, some chances of afternoon showers and a storm possible. These are just slight chances. And if we do see them, they will be very short-lived. Temperatures climbing into the 70s, and then we are seeing this cold front pass, so we're going to see those temperatures a little cooler again tomorrow morning, and then a little bit of a dry out before more chances of storms in the forecast for the weekend. So we're going to see a little bit of a roller coaster when it comes to weather, just a small chance of those showers this afternoon.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Maybe a good couple of days to stay indoors and play a video game.
Yeah, I think some people could agree to that, especially one guy who's not here that works with us, Neil, a big fan of video games, and we're talking about how your student and high school kids are learning how to make video games. We know it's probably never going to go away in popularity. They're only going to be changing and getting better and better. So we're going to be looking at how your child, who maybe is interested in video games, could turn that into a career. So Aaron Lish is going to be at McKinsey Center breaking that down for us in part of our Classroom to Career series. That's coming up, plus news, weather, and traffic right here on RTV6.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Coming up on Good Morning Indiana, House Democrats are officially moving forward to impeach President Trump, the very latest on whistleblower report that sparked the official proceedings.
And a man is in critical condition after a shooting on the city's north side. We've got the latest on the investigation.
And businesses in Kokomo are helping workers affected by the ongoing GM strike. What the community is doing to give the auto workers a hand. Time right now, 4:30 here. It's a Wednesday morning, halfway through your work week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Alyssa Donovan joining us here this morning. And Alyssa, we need to bust out those umbrellas.
Yes, I think we might need them this afternoon. A change from what we've seen the past couple days. We've had gorgeous weather, but today is when we start to see those changes moving in. We're starting again cool this morning in the 50s in some spots, not nearly as cool as we were yesterday. It's 60 degrees right now in Indianapolis, 58 in Peru, and 58 in Tipton. As we head through the day, those temperatures are once again climbing into the upper 70s, and you can see on our radar that things are quiet here in Indiana right now, but just off to our west, you can see we do have some storms moving through into Illinois right now. Those are going to impact us as we head later today. So what's going on is we have this cold front approaching, and ahead of that, we do have some storms possible this afternoon. If we do see those storms, likely we will just see some light showers and maybe a thunderstorm with that. That could include some lightning and possibly some gusty winds. But for the most part, just some light showers are expected later today. And those are going to move through very quickly and clear out by the evening. Tomorrow, high pressure is going to build in. Temperatures today climbing into the mid-70s.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. We want to take a look right now at your commute on this Wednesday morning. It's early and traffic here in Castleton looks to be moving along up to speed. I-69 at 82nd Street. You can see traffic there is traveling just fine, both northbound and southbound. Let's take a turn, head closer to the downtown area. I-70 here in West Street, where everything on the interstate looks pretty good. A reminder, in this area, the Meridian Street RAM system is closed for repairs through Friday morning. So if you do need to get in or out of the downtown area from I-70, right here at West Street would be a great option.
For the fourth time in the nation's history, Congress has opened an impeachment investigation of the president.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced the official investigation yesterday, saying President Trump has seriously violated the Constitution. ABC's Inez de la Cutera explains.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announcing the first step toward impeachment.
The actions of the Trump presidency revealed the dishonorable fact of the president's betrayal of his oath of office, betrayal of our national security, and betrayal of the integrity of our elections.
The historic move comes after President Trump acknowledged he asked Ukrainian President Zelensky to investigate his political rival Joe Biden and his son Hunter. Just days before that phone call, Trump had ordered his chief of staff to freeze nearly $400 million in foreign aid to Ukraine.
This is about the president abusing his office in seeking political dirt about an election that's upcoming.
Trump insists.
And there was never any quid pro quo.
Calling the impeachment inquiry more breaking news witch hunt garbage and presidential harassment, and authorizing the transcript of his phone call with Ukraine's president to be released.
And when you see the call, when you see the readout of the call, which I assume you'll see at some point, you'll understand. That call was perfect.
And while the Trump administration initially blocked Congress from seeing a whistleblower's complaint related to Trump's call with Ukraine's president, sources now say the complaint is undergoing a declassification process by the White House for its possible release. This, as House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff says the whistleblower now wants to speak to Congress. Schiff has requested an interview for tomorrow after the acting director of national intelligence appears before his committee.
An impeachment inquiry is only the beginning of a long process. Even if any articles of impeachment were to pass the House, 2/3 of the Senate is still needed to convict Trump and remove him from office. And Senate Republicans say there are no grounds to impeach. Inez de la Cutera, ABC News, Washington.
New this morning, a man has been hospitalized following a shooting on the city's near north side. It happened around 9:30 last night near 32nd and Graceland. The victim was brought to the hospital with a gunshot wound and is now in critical condition. Our crew on the scene reported seeing officers taking evidence photos of a Jeep at the scene. Police have not released any information about a suspect.
It is day 10 of the United Auto Workers strike against General Motors. That's 10 days here of GM workers not receiving full pay. But in Kokomo, several businesses are stepping up to support the workers that support them. The owners of One More Gym in Kokomo are opening their doors to union workers in need of a place to unwind, while other businesses are offering big discounts to help.
You know, it's a stressful time for them, and, you know, our gym is supposed to be a stress reliever. So in order to relieve just a little bit of stress, we're freezing, you know, their membership dues so they can come in and get rid of some of that stress.
Several other Kokomo businesses are joining One More Gym and offering discounts to GM employees, including Dan Young's Heating and Cooling, Designing Line Salon, and Area Diner Choo Choo Magoo. Negotiations continue this morning between General Motors and United Auto Workers. The union is asking for higher wages, improved pensions, and a promise that GM won't close 4 plants in Maryland, Ohio, and Michigan. According to GM's Twitter account, the company is offering workers a deal that improves wages and health care benefits.
4 Indiana residents are suing the federal government over the state's plan to add work requirements for those who have Medicaid. Indiana's program would require those who don't qualify for exemptions to report 20 hours of work or a related activity. If they can't, they would lose coverage after December 31st. The lawsuit filed Monday claims the rules wrongly jeopardize health care for thousands of people. Governor Eric Holcomb says the requirements would ensure Hoosiers can gain skills, volunteer here or get a better paying job. Washington ruled to block similar plans in Arkansas, Kentucky, and New Hampshire.
Governor Eric Holcomb has named a new leader of Indiana's National Guard. Colonel Dale Niles will take over the position on October 1st. The Salem native most recently served as the Deputy Chief of Staff of Operations for the National Guard Bureau in Washington, D.C. He replaces Major General Courtney Carr, who stepped down back in August. Carr is facing a lawsuit from a former contractor who says he subjected her to intimidation and retaliation.
It's college application week across Indiana. That means 15 colleges in the state will waive application fees, and dozens of high schools will host events to help seniors navigate the process. Yesterday, the National Association for College Admissions Counselors hosted a college fair at the Indianapolis Convention Center. Students and families learned about hundreds of colleges and universities all at one location.
I want to go into like a big enough school so that I can participate and be part of the events, but I actually want like a small space so I can have like a one-on-one conversation with my college professor.
You can find a list of the colleges offering free applications this week at hiringhoosiers.com.
Visitors to downtown Indianapolis will have a new hotel option in 2021. Choice Hotels International plans to build a 148-room, 5-story Cambria hotel on South Meridian Street, just down a block from the Shapiro's Deli near I-70. The site is also walking distance to Lucas Oil Stadium and the Indiana Convention Center, and it's close to Anthem and Eli Lilly headquarters.
And Eli Lilly is opening part of its campus to the community. The company officially donated South Street Square Park to Indianapolis yesterday. Transferring the property was always part of the plan. Eli Lilly developed the park on its corporate headquarters downtown to provide a place for people to enjoy green space in the middle of the city.
We are honored to say to you and the entire community, welcome to our front yard. And today, it's truly ours, as in all of ours in this wonderful city we call home.
The ceremony for this gift comes 2 days before Eli Lilly's annual Global Day of Service.
A statewide health emergency has been declared in Massachusetts over vaping. Still ahead, the new restrictions that state has put in place.
And the South Korean president is proposing a change to its border with North Korea. After the break, his ideal for an international peace zone.
Well, we have had some beautiful weather this week, but we do have some changes coming our way this afternoon and evening. Chance of showers, maybe a storm possible. And then I'll have the details on your weekend forecast coming up.
Stock at Andy Moore Toyota.
Time right now is 4:42 on your Wednesday. Here's a live look at I-65 and I-865 up in the dog leg. Traffic here is moving along just fine in all directions. We'll continue to keep a close eye on those roads this morning and keep you updated.
Here are some of the top stories making national headlines today. Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Felipe Vasquez is set to appear in court after facing multiple charges of sexual assault and unlawful contact with a minor. He was booked into a Pennsylvania jail on Monday. According to the criminal complaint, Vasquez admitted to a sexual encounter with a 13-year-old girl in 2017. He'll appear in court for his arraignment later today.
Leaders from the FDA and CDC will appear before a House panel investigating vaping-related illnesses today. More than 500 people have contacted a lung disease because of vaping. 9 deaths have also been reported. The CDC is investigating this outbreak, but says they have not found a common e-cigarette or ingredient.
Because of the outbreak, Massachusetts' governor has issued a statewide temporary ban on the sale of e-cigarettes and vaping products. The ban is set to last 4 months and bans the sale of all vaping products in retail, online, and any other means. Massachusetts is the first state to issue a wide-sweeping sales ban.
We as a Commonwealth need to pause sales in order for our medical experts to collect more information about what is driving these life-threatening vaping-related illnesses. We also need to better understand the inherent dangers of vaping both nicotine and marijuana.
Earlier this month, Michigan and New York issued bans on flavored e-cigarettes.
Boeing will soon be paying financial assistance to the victims' families in 2 737 MAX crashes. The company has set up a $100 million fund for assistance. The families of over 300 victims will receive more than $144,000 each. The rest of the fund will back education and economic empowerment in the affected communities. Boeing is still facing numerous lawsuits and investigations linked to the 737 MAX. It's not clear if the plane will ever be allowed to fly again.
South Korea Korea's heavily fortified border with North Korea may become an international peace zone. South Korean President Moon Jae-in proposed the idea of transforming the DMZ at the United Nations yesterday. He says the area would guarantee peace in the Korean peninsula and aid in denuclearization efforts. For more than 60 years, the DMZ has been closed off from human interference and has become an haven for endangered wildlife.
At 4:44, days after a large earthquake shook the island of Puerto Rico, they're now being hit with a tropical storm. According to the National Hurricane Center, Tropical Storm Karen moved over the eastern islands of Puerto Rico last night. The storm brought heavy rain and tropical storm winds, causing mudslides and power outages. The system has since moved north away from Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. Back here at home, though, we want to check in with Alyssa and see if we can expect any rain in our forecast.
So we do have a slight chance as we head into this afternoon and evening, just a small chance of that. We could see a thunderstorm in there as well, but for the most part, just some light showers possible later today. And then behind that, a brief dry out on tap, and then we do have some storms possible as we head into this weekend. Right now, we are starting a little bit warmer than we did yesterday. 60 degrees in Indianapolis. Those winds are light out of the south, about 7 miles per hour. Not humid outside today, and we are going to continue to see those drier conditions tomorrow after this front passes. So what's going on is it's very quiet on the radar, but just off to our west, we do have this line of storms that's starting to move into Illinois. We'll start to see that impact us later this afternoon and into the early evening. Again, just a slight chance of seeing some of those storms possible. Better chance we'll just see some light rain as that cold front moves in later tonight. That's all ahead of that. But if we do see some storms, we will likely see some lightning as well as gusty winds, and they will be very short-lived. So here's a look at our TrueCast today. Starting out this morning in the 50s and 60s as you head out the door. That's about where we'll be with partly cloudy skies, and then we'll see those clouds build up a little bit later this afternoon as we head into the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock hour, and then that's when we'll also see that line of showers move in. Again, possibly a thunderstorm in there as well. Anything we do see from that will be very short-lived, and if we do see that rain, it will be very light. Temperatures by the noon hour are going to be into the mid-70s and only climbing into the upper 70s this afternoon. By the evening, we'll start to see a lot of that cloud coverage clear out, and that's because we have high pressure building in behind that. That's going to stick with us until Friday afternoon. Then we see some more convection move in. Another front is going to move in for our weekend. Possibility of a stray storm on Saturday and a very small chance on Sunday as well. But don't cancel any plans, because if we do see that, they will be very, very spotty in nature. Today, starting in the 50s this morning, we'll see those clouds increase throughout the day. Those spot showers, maybe a thunderstorm possible this afternoon and early evening. Again, very short-lived in nature. 78 for our high today. Tomorrow, staying warm, 77, mostly sunny skies. Will dry out as high pressure builds in, and then we'll see the potential of showers again Friday, maybe a thunderstorm late Friday night, and then that will continue into Saturday. But you can see we're warming back up. By Monday and Tuesday, we are back into the upper 80s.
Alyssa, thank you so much. Want to take a live look right now over on the west side of town. This is our INDOT traffic camera at I-70, a little west of Lyndhurst Drive. Everything here is moving along just fine, no issues. Let's take a look at our traffic now map on I-70. A reminder about ramp system closure here. This will last through Friday morning. The I-70 and Meridian Street ramps here near the south split, those are closed for repair work, so you'll need to take West Street or Harding Street as detours until Friday morning. And then a reminder, this is a project that goes into effect tomorrow during the daytime hours. I-65 ramp system here at State Road at 46. Several of those closing for repair works starting at about 9 a.m. Again, that is on Thursday. Let's take a live look right now back here on the northwest side, I-65 near 38th Street. Traffic in this area looks to be moving along just fine at this early hour. We'll keep an eye out for any crashes and keep you updated.
More than 800 people are out of a job after rideshare company Uber takes a big hit. Over the last 3 months, Uber has blown through $5.2 billion in investments, and its stock has fallen 30%. Uber has made cuts in their marketing and product engineer departments. They may also face a new challenge with a California law that could make costs go up for drivers in the state. Uber CEO says despite this, business is still growing and the company will recover from the hit.
Indiana University already gearing up for basketball season. Coming up, RTV6's Brad Brown introduces us to this year's team.
And 17 people in Indiana died in railroad collisions last year. New at 5, how one mother hopes her story will warn others about the danger.
I'm Vinny Politan. Coming up today on Court TV, our coverage of the case the entire nation has their eyes on. It's out of Dallas, Texas. Texas versus Amber Geiger. She's a cop out of Dallas who went into her neighbor's apartment, shot and killed him. She says it's all a mistake. She thought she was going into her own apartment, but the prosecution says it's murder. We are live in Dallas today on Court TV.
Vinny, thanks. Don't forget, you can watch all the new Court TV live right on your mobile device by visiting CourtTV.com. Stay with us. Good morning, Indiana. We'll be right back after this break.
And refined Atlas SE with technology.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 4:53 on your Wednesday, and this is a live look near the downtown area, I-70 at West Street. Traffic here is moving along just fine. This will be your route. If you normally take Meridian Street as the exit off the interstate, you'll have to take West Street or Harding Street here at I-70 instead.
We are barely into the football season, and it's already time for basketball. But it is always basketball season in Bloomington, and a new season brings some new faces. Brad Brown introduces us to this year's team.
Smile, don't smile, have fun with it, but not too much fun. After all, these images will last an entire season. The Hoosiers have turned over half of their roster, and just 2 seniors remain, big man Deron Davis and guard Devontae Green. With the departure of Romeo Langford and Juwan Morgan, Green is the top scorer returning from a year ago.
It's kind of a bittersweet feeling. I'm excited, but also know it's going to be my last time doing this and my last time with the guys. But, I mean, I'm excited to be a leader and lead this team.
Plenty of excitement around this year's freshman class. Trace Jackson Davis is the latest Indiana Mr. Basketball to bring his talents to Bloomington. There's also another Indy connection here in Cathedral graduate Armand Franklin.
It's a crazy feeling just being here with all the history and all this and all the hype around the team. It's just a good feeling to know that you're like really loved in Bloomington and around the country, so it's just a good feeling to be here.
Now that you're sitting here, wearing the jersey and getting ready to do this freshman season, how does it feel?
I'm just soaking it all up. My teammates, they've been really good to me. They've been helping me along the journey. It's been a really fun ride. It's been tough in practice, but everything I've had fun with.
The Hoosiers roster got another +1 on Tuesday with the announcement that Jerome Hunter has been medically cleared for the upcoming season. He missed all of last year dealing with a leg condition. Another big addition for IU this season is the addition of former Butler big man Joey Brunk, who comes to Bloomington now to fulfill his dream of wearing the cream and crimson. What do you see out of this group early on?
There's definitely an openness in the locker room. There isn't any clique or anything like that. I think we're all kind of in it for the same thing, and we want to represent the state of Indiana with pride and represent our school with a lot of pride.
The work's already begun. Soon enough, we'll see if the rest of the season is this much fun. In Bloomington, Brad Brown, RTV6 Sports.
All right, speaking of basketball season approaching, that means the cooler weather is approaching.
Yes, it's coming.
Sometime, right?
Yeah, it's coming. It's not here yet. It's still going to feel like summer for a few days in our forecast yet. Today, we're into the upper 70s. We do have some chances of a spot shower, maybe a storm this afternoon and evening. If we do see those storms, not expecting severe weather at this time, would just be very brief. And then we are cooling off a little bit tomorrow morning, back into the upper 50s, 70s on Thursday. High pressure builds in briefly, sticks with us on Friday as well. And then we do have the possibility of some storms into the weekend.